So I skipped some steps. I skipped some steps. I jumped the gun and started making Humvees. And I made a mistake. I thought that I could make sub factories and just have outputs of things. So I already had these all built, right? So this is to make Humvees. The cookbook's a little crazy. There's where's it? I really wish this was a little better. The cookbook, you've got parts, 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 and then it all feeds in. So I made sub factories for each one of these. So I got a little assembly line that does parts, another one that does seats, another one does bonnet boots, the dash. So I built all of those out, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I already had all these stamped down, and I made a Humvee section, which is super nice for blueprints, because then if I need to add more engines or parts or bonnet boots, if I want to increase production, I can just stamp down another one of these little things. So it took a bit of time to, okay, first of all, it took a little bit of time to make the building, because adding flooring, you have to go, it only does a certain amount at a time, so you have to keep doing that. So here's my little section up here at the top of my factory that's making all the sub parts, and then it kind of ramps up a little bit here, making the engine pieces. It's so cool. It's so cool. Get out of here. So it gets all the parts. Here's all the engine blocks. It comes and stamps down. Got your little engine going. It's so cool. It's so cool. So yeah, you make all these parts, and you can actually see them. So here's a seat. Let's zoom in here. Kill my here's your little seat. I have the settings on low, and my RTX NVIDIA RTX 2080 at 8 gigs is just maxed out 100%, and my CPU at all times. So I'd like to there's got to be some kind of optimization that can happen. Anyway, so that's just kind of cool to see. And then everything goes, all of these little subcomponents go into recyclers. Now here's where I messed up. Recyclers only work if for multiple factories in multiple locations, if they can be sent to intermediate products. And that is all small line stuff. Now we're talking medium lines, medium belts, and large belts, gigabelts. And so these don't go from around the globe. They can go to the recycler, but it all has to stay here in your inventory so that other places can pick it up. So these right here, and we got to go find the place to look. I mean, it's just huge. That's all going here, and I've got other factories that build other parts. So here's our motor parts, and this is going to come over and it's going to pick up the shell. And it's going to stick it down. I don't know if you can see this. It's so cool. Where it comes up, it raises the engine part up, puts it in there, puts it on the line. Excuse me. And then this feeds right into adding in wheels and all kinds of stuff. I'm having so much fun with this. This is what Factorio needs. A reason to do the things you're doing. You're launching a rocket is kind of boring, to be honest. just gonna keep watching this. So it's here, and as soon as it gets all the parts, or we're missing some doors and some stuff, raises it up, puts on the wheels. Sparks flying. You're seeing the chunks because my graphics card's trying to work and stream my video in my head in here. So these work recyclers. These are the large level 3 recyclers, and then so all the parts get fed throughout the building and do stuff and assembled wherever they need to. This assembles the Humvee. It puts in all the seats and the dash and all that stuff. There's an output car. And then here's the paint shop. So we're gonna come in here. We get a Humvee painted. Right now, so it's kind of weird. I wish this was a different dialogue. You scroll wheel. Tanks are first, and then Humvees are second. It doesn't need a specific paint. It just needs 4 cans of paint, and then you tell it what you want to make. And there's all kinds of woodland Humvees. There's SWAT, police, Navy, camo, desert. I think there's UN. So there's different colors. There's different paint jobs you can do. It takes a minute. It takes 20 seconds for it to get painted and delivered. But then it comes out here, and I've got got a line of Humvees in the jungle paint job. I am absolutely having so much fun with this game. It does need some visual optimization, and then you got to make sure if you want to sell them. You come into your order list, and you got to find the specific model that you're making. I'm making jungles, but this is where we start getting into the money. 11 million for bullets, pants, and 45 Humvees. This is where we start making billions. You just let this thing run. Let it make you all your Humvees, and let your sales guy sales. Absolutely having a blast with this. So, computer's struggling so hard right now. But yeah, I've got this huge spot. I only, you got all of. Let me scroll out. You have all this space clear out here, and I've only taken up some of my space. So I can totally increase production, doing stuff. They're slow. It's a slow process. You can't make cars as fast as you make gloves. You just can't. But this is so fun. I think I'm going to do a tank line. I'm going to do tanks next before I add any. So I made like 5 sub factories. Because I thought this little factory will be for seats, and this one will be for dashboards, and this one will be for that. So I've got all these empty factories down here, and it's just the starting factories. I didn't do a huge one. So I think I've got 5 factories that are empty and doing nothing now. So I'm going to convert those into guns at some point, or play with explosives or something like that. But we're making money. I'm up to $13.5 million now. And I haven't even sold any of these things. That's just, as I've been building this, I've been letting the game run, letting my people make things and my sales guys sales things. And it's just been building. It's just been building over time. So highest I've ever had was 13.7 million. My bankruptcy, I can go 8 in the hole, but I don't think I'm ever going to get there, knock on wood. I think we're going to be good to go. Let's check my notoriety. We're still good, even though my reputation is sliding down from the United States, and that's only because I decided to start selling to everybody. I should probably adjust my rules. Oh, it is struggling so hard. let's go in and add a new layer to this. Can be filled by ordering organizations. CIA, MI6, I think U.S. Police Forces, Elite Crew. I think that's all the allies. Let's save that. Maybe that'll limit my reduction in reputation. These were all full, and now it's starting to slide back. So if I take this, we're gonna get rid of that one. That one. So we'll see what can happen. This is just really fascinating. It's actually making cars a lot faster than I thought it would. I mean, look at this. I've already got a whole bunch sitting here, waiting to be sold. I don't know how many this holds. Vehicle, it just says vehicle storage. I don't know how many it holds. 50, 100. I don't know. It's big. This is what you use for both tanks and, I believe, tanks and Humvees. So anyway, that's super cool. Super cool. Super cool. Again, this is what I think Factorio is missing is a reason to do it. A reason to do it. And this is great. This is, well, my goal is to make $100 million or $100 billion or whatever the max limit is, and just have fun with it. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a quick update on that, and how to do these. When you look at the cookbook, it feels super complicated. You're like, oh my gosh, how am I getting? Just break it down into pieces, man. Just break it down into pieces and say, okay, I'm this one right here. This is for Humvee parts, and what do I need for it? That's out. I need a rubber roll and large aluminum blocks. I've got it in here so that it's alternating what it needs. This is backed up, and then you just output it real quick into a recycler into the facility. One thing I went ahead and did is I added a tooling station and then all of the power that it needs, and you can check out what power is needed as you're going through here. So if I click on this, I can see that I didn't name it. I can tell that it needs what heat, what cold, and how much power for that grouping of facilities. That's right here. So this is Humvee seats. This computer's gonna, if it explodes, I won't be surprised. So this is seat group 01, and this grouping needs 50 heat, 50 cold, and 450 power. And so if you include these into your blueprint, you don't have to worry about adding power and getting low. You just stamp it down. Everything's included in it. Self-contained package. All you have to do is get a line controller, assign it, and then hook the little pieces up to it. So it's not too bad. It's actually really fun. It's really cool. And I did that with all of my new blueprints that I'm making. I'm adding in all the heat and power that it's needed to control it, and a tooling block. I don't know if that costs more, but I don't want my mechanics to have to go all over the place to find tools. I want them to come clear out here, right? I want them to come out here and find what they need and fix the thing that they need. Another thing that I need to do, which I need to add some break rooms, so, because these large factories are going to get so big and the only people running around are mechanics, they're going to get mad and need a place. We're up to $16.1 million. They're going to get angry, and they're going to have to walk clear back to take a break and then walk clear back to get something fixed. I really wish that you could make a blueprint of this, because I got a nice little office, break room going, but there's no way to add this to a blueprint that I can tell, right? Because that would be cool. Make a break room and then stamp one down here and stamp another one here so that people don't have to go very far to take a break. Oh, it looks like I sold a bunch of vehicles. That's what it is. Sales history would be fun too, because I had 13, and then we all of a sudden had 16, so I made a $3 million sale. Probably off Humvees. This is so fun. This is so fun. Alright, I'm going to do tanks. Why is he not getting rid of those people? Do I have a guy here? One thing that I'm making a tips list, and I'm gonna make a video on tips. So I got a marketing manager, so I don't need orders specifically here, do I? I don't think I need orders. So what can happen is, because I was at one place, gloves stopped, my factory stopped making gloves. So I'm like, well, what's going on? So I went to check it out, and come to find out that like 4 lines guys had just quit. So no one was running the lines. The machines were just stopped because nobody was running them. So I'm like, so I asked Discord the guys, I'm like, can workers quit? Oh yeah, if they get mad and they don't chill out and rest, they just quit. I'm like, all right, good to know. That's kind of, I mean, yeah, I get it. Anyway, tons of fun. That is making Hummers or Humvees.